Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm getting ready to make loaded hash browns, and these are the ingredients. You're going to need some bacon, some sausage, some hash browns, cheddar cheese, salt, pepper, and garlic and onion powder. So the first thing I am going to do is cut the bacon into little pieces, so that way they can fry quicker, because that's just how I do it, and then I'll have to crunch it at the end. It's already cut. My bacon was not frozen, and I wish it would have been, because it cuts so much easier when it's frozen. So tip to you, try to have the bacon semi-frozen and it'll cut beautifully. So I'm just going to cut them into like bite-sized pieces, nothing fancy. Make sure you're using a sharp knife so that way it goes right through the bacon quickly like this. And it's really easy. You can see sometimes the fat of the bacon does cause you to have to cut a little bit harder on it, but for the most part it's real easy to cut. But like I said, frozen is much better to cut bacon, and actually any meat. If you're cutting meat, semi-frozen is good. It helps the cutting of the make it easier. So next step I'm going to do is fry the bacon up. So throw it all in the pan. I didn't put no oil in the pan because this is going to produce enough oil on its own. So I'm going to continue to cook this until it is nice and crispy brown, and you will see that as the stages go along. This does um, pr produce a lot of oil because you know it's bacon and it's a lot of fat. So when I take it out, I am putting out a paper towel, and I am going to remove almost all of the oil except for a couple tablespoons because I'm going to fry up my sausage next in it. But this didn't take but maybe 10-15 minutes to cook. And I make a big batch of the hash browns so that way for me and my husband for work, we have breakfasts. He can make his egg, and I just do a couple sausages on the side because I can't eat eggs. But this is a great thing for breakfast for the week. So I'm just throwing in all the whole pack of sausage, and I'm going to cook these up in some of the bacon grease that I left. And this doesn't take long either. You're just cooking it to brown because you're going to put this in the oven. So if it's not fully cooked, it'll finish cooking in the oven. But I do like to make sure that mine is fully cooked because this is fresh sausage. So I do cook it to the fullest. If it gets a little brown, like mine is, it's fine. Brown is flavor. Don't forget that. So I'm just taking them out as I see that they're done, and I'm going to continue cooking until they are all completely done. So now that everything is done, I let the sauces cool for a little bit so I can actually handle it with my hands. I'm cutting it up into small bite-sized pieces. This way I can distribute this in the my hash browns easier, and every other bite will have a piece of sausage. And this does not take no more than less than 5 minutes to cut up. But you should let it cool down for a few minutes before you touch it, because otherwise it's going to be piping hot and you can burn your hands. As you can see, I'm holding with 2 fingers because the sausage is still a little bit warm, but I'm managing to cut the sausage anyway. And it doesn't, like I said, doesn't take long. If you have a different method of cutting, go for it. I like doing things by hand because for me this is very relaxing. So I'm using a 9x13 pan. I am spraying it with non-stick spray, and then I'm going to dump the hash browns in it. You can make your own hash browns with real potatoes. This is just a shortcut because I'm trying to get some breakfasts done, and to do it from scratch it takes a lot of time, so I choose to just do it semi-scratch, which is perfectly fine. So I'm going to sprinkle some cheese on top because you want the hash browns to be cheesy. You can also add, if you have bell peppers, and you could chop a fresh onion and put some bell peppers. This would be great too. So now I'm putting in the bacon, and then next I'll put in the sausage. And you're going to probably see me mix this with my hands only because I've used the spoon before. several times, and the only thing the spoon does for me is create a huge mess. I'm also going to add some salt and pepper, and the salt and pepper is to taste. I don't put a lot of salt because the bacon has salt on it, and you know the sausage has salt in it, so I try to be frugal with the salt, but put as much as you want. And then I'm going to put the onion and garlic powder in as well. Again, I will have the full recipe linked down below in the description box, and also on my website, ruthiecancook.com, will give you the full instructions. And here I am mixing it with my hand. Like I said, I found it easier to mix with my hand versus doing it with a spoon, because a spoon, it just goes all over the place for me. So this way I can actually feel everything get into all the little crevices, and I'm making sure that the cheese is mixed well in between the potatoes and the sausage and the bacon. So, and you see I'm using one hand to mix and one hand to put some more cheese, because you don't want to contaminate your food with dirty hands. So make sure you don't do that. That's why you always have one clean, one dirty hand. This is pretty well mixed, so now I'm going to stick it into the oven. 300, I think it's 350 degrees, if not 375. And like I said, I will leave the recipe down in the description box below with all the steps and the full details of what I did here. And then more cheese on top, because cheese is always good. And then it baked for about 30-45 minutes depending on your oven. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.